OG barbers are stuck in their ways. You know why companies bring in new talent all the time? Because they bring in new ideas, fresh ways to do things. An OG barber, they've always done it this way, and that's the way they're going to continue to do it. And they have their set clients. They make a set amount of money, and they're okay with that.
You said something right there.
Now your OG barbers come in with these new crazy ideas with this spray and all kind of stuff and razzle dazzle.
All type of enhancements.
All type of enhancements.
Yeah.
They come with the swag. They come with everything, and they just like, we just here to cut hair. You ain't got to do all that.
Welcome to More Than a Barber podcast. This is a podcast that helps inspiring barbers transform their career. I am your host, AP. I got my co-host with me today.
What's going on, AP?
What's up? Listen, today, whenever you're watching this, we have an incredible episode for you. Man, I can't wait to dive in, but I always got to ask my guests, my co-host, what's going on?
Man, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Been a minute. Like your earrings, like your outfit.
You know, I'm supportive of all women around here. Her name is Ann Handmade, I think. I met her at Boss Women Media.
Shout out to Boss Women Media and shout out to Ann.
Yeah, she was just at the Essence Festival. I love her stuff. It's dope, one of a kind pieces. So yeah.
So was she like kind of like one of the vendors?
She vendors everywhere. She was at the 4th of July at Legacy.
Oh.
Anytime there's an event in Dallas,
You pull up.
I'm gonna pull up and she gonna be there.
She gonna be
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yo, so man, I mean, I'm like, I never had my ears pierced before. What? I know you're looking at me like you know, we grew up kind of strict. So I was always
in LA?
scared. Yeah, I was scared to get my ears pierced.
Come on,
I ain't got no tattoos, no earrings. I don't know. It's crazy.
That's a part of the Houston package.
But look.
Houston gold too.
What's the rims we were talking about the other day?
The swangers.
Yeah,
come on
man.
now.
But I started to like talk about the sleeve.
Yeah.
But my niece was like, Uncle Alton, you don't need that. You too old. They told me I'm too old to get a tattoo.
What's your pain tolerance?
I mean, I'm good.
What's good?
Is it gonna hurt?
Yeah, it hurt. I mean, so they have different numbing creams and all that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know how that works, but when I got my tattoo,
you had to do multiple sessions?
I did 6 sessions. Yeah. Every 2 weeks I went in.
Just give me a little cross or something, Dad. Man, just give me a little cross and maybe I'll be all right. But then I heard like the more you get, the more addictive they are.
Not
that
really.
whole thing.
At some point you gotta stop. I mean, there are some people, but nah, I got 2 and that's it.
Will I be a square?
If you never got a tattoo?
Yeah.
Nah, you'll be all right.
Nah, Mo, you just said I ain't part of the package.
It's a part of the Houston package. You know, that's what I look for. Where your tattoo
Tattoos.
at?
Okay, let's run it. Tattoos, you know what I'm saying?
You probably got a gold tooth in there somewhere.
She let y'all know.
You got a gold tooth, you got a grill, you can take in and out, something like that, you know.
Certain kind of car?
Nah, you ain't got no certain kind of car.
Okay.
Well, you got to have an old school somewhere in there if you're from Houston.
So my favorite old school is a El Camino, the 2-door El Camino.
Really?
I'm going to get one. If I don't get a tattoo, I'm definitely getting
You
a El Camino. I put some 22s on it, something slight, not the 28s to the 30s.
Yeah.
I guess I'm considered an OG.
You're an OG.
Oh, God. Still got swag.
I'm going to have to take you to Houston.
I like Houston. Have
you been to Houston?
I've never been where you from. So you got to take me.
You never been to Houston?
I've been, but not where you from.
You never been?
No, I'm scared to go
there. You was probably by the Galleria. So everybody who come visit Houston want to go to the Galleria. I'm taking you to the north side.
I go to the Galleria where it's safe. You know
I'm going to take you to the north side.
I tell you what, though. We went to a restaurant called Gracie's or Grace.
I don't know.
Bomb. I'm talking about bomb seafood sandwiches.
Well, let me tell you something. Food in Houston, listen, every corner. Everybody has a spot. There's nowhere that you cannot go. When you go to Houston, You're gonna eat.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever try and leave on a Sunday because they don't know how to go home. Brunch is all day. In Dallas, brunch shuts down at a certain time.
Yeah.
On Sunday, when they say Sunday fun day, they mean Sunday fun day.
They really mean that.
All night.
So a lot of day parties.
A lot of day parties go into the night.
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't. Houston don't shut down.
Okay, so we went to what's it called? The Breakfast Club.
Ooh, yes.
Shout out to the Breakfast Club.
Man.
This is no paid sponsorship ad, none of that.
That's shrimp and fish.
And then the line was wrapped around the corner. It's my first time going.
Yeah.
So I went with a few of my friends, and they stayed up too late. So I'm like, I know they're gonna sleep in. Snuck and went.
That line.
I said, man, this line's long.
It's good,
but
though.
it's fire.
It is so good.
It's fire. So shout out to Houston. Shout out to Breakfast Club. Shout out to my homegirl Mo H-Town.
Come on. I'm gonna wear my grill one day.
Oh Lord.
Dude, you just wait.
Be swagged out. But you stay swag. You got the earrings, like I say. You stay fly. All of my dad. My dad got a crush on you. That's crazy. I ain't lying.
I like the old school. Come on now.
You like OGs?
You ain't got time for them young ones. No. Give me like about 75, 80 years old.
Ooh-wee.
Sit in the house. Come on.
Listen, and it's so crazy because that leads us to what we talk about today, Bo. Both funny. She's funny. And she's serious too. She's serious.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. You need a pound for what?
Hey, something. Depends, whatever it is.
Hey, put me on the insurance policy.
Hey, we good. You know, before we get to that, but you know, that's crazy that's, and I know we ain't no relationship joint.
Right.
But it's women that really be out there looking for their next play. Why is that, Mo?
Hold on, what you mean?
Okay, so like, I know a couple.
Okay.
She's 32 or 33.
Okay.
But you know, her dude is like 60 something.
60 is not old.
For a relationship?
60 is
30 years?
No, 60 is not. Let me tell you something.
I'm listening.
60 is not old. If you catch a man in his 60s and he's taking care of himself, you know, he's in shape, good health, all that. 60 is a sweet spot.
But what I mean, he's definitely considered an OG, right?
Yeah.
But my question is, I mean, 30 years.
Some women are really, I know people think that women are out here playing games and that some women are really just ready to settle down and they don't want the games. And at 60, he's done all that he can do. He's ready to settle down.
That is
and
wild
she don't
to
want
me.
to. She doesn't want to play games. And sometimes she keeps him young, and then he gives her knowledge and game. And sometimes it can be the perfect connection.
So she looking for somebody to be her father.
No, not at all. She looking for some experience. 60 is not.
Don't hold back. Just say it.
60 is not old. If they in shape, 60 is not old.
That's a triple OG.
But
no disrespect.
No, listen, if women listen, 60 years old, a 60-year-old man that's
to a 33. I think she's 32 or 33.
Listen, that's perfect.
How,
that's perfect.
Mo? How?
That is perfect. I'm telling you.
Based on experience, wisdom, okay.
So a 30-year-old woman that's, let's say she's educated.
Okay.
She's well in her career. She's making money. She's probably bought her home. Her career's up and going. Mm-hmm. He may be 60 years old. He's finishing his career. He's at home. He's retired. It's the perfect combination because she's still young and vibrant and moving around. He's at home. He's settled. I'm telling you, it goes well together.
But that sounds like that's the perfect scenario.
That's the perfect scenario.
Most 60-year-old men are not necessarily in shape.
But don't nobody want them. What you talking about? Ain't nobody talking about them.
Mo is on fire today.
We talking about the ones in shape. Yeah. Cool. We don't want the 60-year-olds that been out there running the street and they raggedy, they ain't got no we don't want them. We don't want the ones that's just been ran through. Now you 1 foot from being in a home and you need somebody to wipe your butt. We don't want those.
I wish we were a relationship podcast because I would get all up in this. You know what I'm saying? I would, but I understand that that is the ideal, scenario.
It is the ideal scenario, but I would tell you what, there are more men that are older who has not taken care of themselves, that was out there running the street, and now they're older and they're in horrible health, and now they're looking to settle down with a woman who may be the same age, but as we know, women outlive men and we take care of ourselves. Now they're looking for somebody to settle down with. With somebody their same age, they're not going for that. So then they may go out and get that younger woman because now he has a check coming in. And she's probably going to, hey, you got a little money. I have my career. You sitting at home. You can't be running around because you sick. You ain't in good health. You got gout. What?
Yeah. Just toe up.
Just toe up. So, yeah.
I understand. But when I heard and saw the whole situation, I'm like, ain't no way. I'm thinking one way. I'm like, she just want his money.
No.
She just want his money.
I know y'all be thinking women I know y'all be thinking women want men money, but if we go back to statistics, we out earn our counterparts in most instances. So it's not the money. It can't be the money if we out earning in most cases.
Y'all out earn the man in some regards. Meaning, well, I'll say it this way. There is a high percentage, but there are some men, for us, we don't care about your money.
But that's
what I'm saying?
So that's what I'm saying. It's not about the money. So we're not going after a man for his money because we already have our own, is what I'm saying. So that thing where women are out here with men looking for somebody to pay for dinner, me and my friends, we take ourselves to more expensive restaurants than we are when we go on a date with a man. And that's just casual because and guess what? I may pick up the check for the entire group. And then the next time my other homegirl is going to pick up the check. We're not fighting with no man about who paying and who not paying. When I didn't just pay for 4 or 5 of my homegirls to eat and the plates cost $150 to $200 each.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not arguing about that.
Y'all ain't arguing on no money. We're
not arguing about nothing.
So, nah. Listen, we
not arguing about no money. We're not arguing about a meal. We out here living our best life.
That's your friend group. Your friend group. You just said something that most women, some women aren't doing. You picking up the tab and then next time it's, whoever.
Most women do that. I'm telling you, we do not. I will tell you this: most high-end restaurants, you cannot split a bill.
For sure.
There's no such thing as splitting a bill. So when you go in there knowing one of us is picking up the tab.
For sure.
If I'm picking up the tab, it's because, guess what? It's a business move. I'm going to earn points. Yeah. So let me go and pay this tab so I can get some of this free money.
I follow. That's the whole nother play. That's a whole nother play we can talk about. So, Mo, we already talk about OGs. We already talk about it. You got the 30 and the 60-year-old and the perfect match. And essentially, I asked the question a couple of weeks ago on Instagram. It actually went crazy.
What was the question?
Are OG barbers hating on the younger barbers, or are the younger barbers hating on the OG barbers?
Now, what's considered an OG barber? So let's define an OG barber. Yeah. So
in this industry, and even at large,
okay,
most young cats look at guys 30 and up as old. If you're 26, 27, you're OG for sure.
26 is an OG.
I'm telling you, it feel weird that young guys that I mentor call me OG. Cause I'm young. I don't necessarily tell my age, but I'm young. Like I'm young. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe 26 is an OG.
That's an OG.
So what are we talking about? 15-year-olds?
Do me a favor. If you feel like 26 to about 30 is OG, just type it in the
My son
comments.
is 26 years old.
He's an OG.
My son is not an OG.
To you, he's not.
To who is he an OG to?
Guys younger than, I'ma say. Look, I promise. From about, I would say about 15 to about 22. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
For real. For real. So
Okay.
if you are a OG in terms of age,
Okay.
it don't forget how good you can cut.
Right.
But really, it's the age.
26.
Man,
Wow.
that's
Okay.
just me.
Got it.
I've seen younger guys say, man, when you get to 25, 26, 27, I know you frown it, but it's the truth. You would consider the OG.
Okay. I mean, that's the first that I'm hearing that. Seriously, I'm thinking, so when I say OG, it's kind of like, so I say OG and then aunties. You know how they
Okay.
call women auntie?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I guess I'm considered like an auntie.
So my niece, you are, but
I'm an
my niece,
auntie.
but mine, she's 25. They call her auntie.
She's definitely not an auntie.
She's definitely not an auntie, but my niece is 25 and they call her auntie.
Nah, she ain't no auntie.
She's not.
Nah.
But that's just so that is the culture and the generation.
I feel like OG and auntie are like I would say late 30s and up.
That's considered an auntie
That's
or
the auntie
OG.
or OG. That would be the
wild.
age group that I would give it to. I would say late, and I really don't even want to say the 30-year-olds. I want to say 40 and up.
Is an OG 40? Wow. Jesus.
Auntie.
Auntie.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We might have to stick a pin in. Like, let's see. I'm gonna see if.
But auntie is a whole vibe. Now, don't get it twisted.
Oh,
the auntie is a whole vibe, honey.
The auntie is the one going for. Well, so she's 30. The auntie is 30 and up.
No, I'm gonna say auntie is
Or 40 and up.
I'm gonna go 40 and up. I'm gonna say auntie is 40 and
So
up.
auntie is, as we talked about this a few minutes ago, she wants somebody 70. You know what I mean? She don't want to.
It better be 70 and tip top shape and run a marathon. Gotta add. Nah, let me stop. Just saying. These are jokes, y'all. These are jokes.
I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out the most. You know what? I could do. I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
I saw it. I'm a FaceTime.
Who we FaceTiming?
I'm a FaceTime. Let me FaceTime somebody real quick.
Okay, let's ask the question. We never did this before.
I know it's new.
I like it.
Let's FaceTime.
I like it.
Okay. Let me FaceTime Maya.
Mine is 20. She's not an auntie.
She ain't gonna count.
No, she does not count.
Who should we?
So you were saying basically, if I'm saying that an auntie is in her 40s, then you're putting her up against me.
I see.
That's not the same.
It's not the same, but I'm saying she has younger friends that call her auntie.
They don't know no better. Them kids' brain ain't fully developed. What we? Their brains ain't fully developed.
I'm trying to see who I can FaceTime real quick. So anyway, that's the question.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with not just skill, how long they've been in the industry, but age. And before we get into the comments, what's your thoughts? Just hearing that question.
Okay.
I mean, I know I'm your barber, but
I think it can go both ways. But for me, I think the older people are more set in their ways. And so when you have a younger generations that's coming and they're changing things and they're doing things that's new that they don't understand, they start hating on the younger people. Because in most people's minds, someone younger can't teach them anything.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah, a lot of people
think like that.
A lot of people think like that.
Somebody younger can't teach them anything.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that have that mindset that someone younger don't have the experience or the knowledge to teach them anything. And just because I may not have the longevity in something, I could still teach you something. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna tell you, I like what you said, and I'm gonna tell you where I got that question from.
Okay.
So I reached out to a barber, and he's an OG barber. I'm gonna call him an OG barber because he is. He's younger than me. I mean, I'm younger than him.
Okay.
Right? I'm younger than him. And I was reaching out to ask if he could show some love. I would just say it that way. Because he might check this out. I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, why he not responding? I'm like, I'm liking his posts. I'm commenting. Right? He got dope content. But he never got back to me. Or he said, yeah, we can link up and we can do this and we can do that. And I'm saying, okay, well, let me see when we can get on the schedule. Let me see when everything is going. You know how that go, right?
Oh yeah.
So I waited a whole month, didn't get the schedule. So I reached back out to him again. He said, yeah, let's try this again. No luck. So one day I'm cutting and I said, man, are OG barbers hating on the younger barbers? That's where it is. That's where this whole question kind of came about. So I took it to Instagram and man, we started a war.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even intentional. But my thing is, to your point, I like what you said, but I just don't think that it's wise for older barbers to think that younger barbers can't teach them anything.
Yeah, barbers in society as a whole. So me being in the military, we had a fresh group of 18 and 17-year-olds that came in the army every day. You know what I'm saying? And I can see the difference. And I was a drill sergeant.
Oh Lord, you was giving them orders.
I was nice, no, but I mean the age would range from, you had kids that were going from, they were doing it like their junior year, so they would be 16, 17 years old, then they would go finish their last year of high school,
like the ROTC,
right?
Okay.
And then you had 40-year-olds, and we would and everything in between. So you would put a 17-year-old up front that's telling the 30-something or 40-something-year-old man with wife and kids what to do.
Wow.
They ain't like that.
Are you serious?
But when you're in basic training, you're the same.
Your age don't matter.
Your age does not matter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what was that like from your perspective? Like, was they like, man, you ain't finna be talking crazy? I mean, of course they can't do that, but what was that? That was like their reaction?
Fall in line. And if you think you can do better, then you can be out front. But until then, this 17-year-old is outperforming you. See, when you came in the army, there's no waivers for there may be a waiver for your age, but we all have to perform. And if you can't perform and they're outperforming you, and yes, they are in certain aspects, then you're going to have to fall in line and you're going to listen to that 17-year-old, that 18-year-old.
So that's a punchline to what I'm going to say.
Okay.
Some young barbers are outperforming OG barbers.
Yes.
And that's where they feel like you can't tell me anything.
And I'm going to tell you why they're outperforming.
Let's hear it.
You want
Let's hear it.
They're outperforming because OG barbers are stuck in their ways. You know why companies bring in new talent all the time? Because they bring in new ideas, fresh ways to do things. An OG barber, they've always done it this way, and that's the way they're going to continue to do it. And they have their set clients. They make a set amount of money, and they're okay with that.
You said something right there.
Now your OG barbers come in with these new crazy ideas with this spray and all kind of stuff and razzle dazzle.
all type of enhancements.
All type of enhancements. Yeah. They come with the swag. They come with everything, and they just like, we just here to cut hair. You ain't got to do all that.
Right.
But y'all have so a barber like yourself, you come with a podcast, you come with business, you come with, your attire, you come with all that to the table. So now you have multiple ways to earn income. And your OG barber, I just want to cut hair. When I say barber, I mean barber.
I got you.
I don't mean barber and stylist and therapist. I mean, I'm a barber.
And that's so wild to me because I'm like, I've always been in the mindset of I'm going to stay a student of the game. And I don't care if I'm 35, 40, 50, you always supposed to remain a student of the game, even if you are not into the fashion when you come to work or the enhancements, whatever. But man, when I say it's a war in the comments, I had no idea. Mo, I'm talking about it's crazy. I couldn't keep up.
Right.
I couldn't keep up.
What was the general consensus, or was it like 50-50?
I kept trying to check. I mean, I don't even want to say the at name, right? But one guy said both are upset because we had to put in work. We really had to put in work. We have to put in work as far as being in the shop, cutting a lot of hours. Here's another one. No hate anywhere in this game. We all trying to elevate. We had few of those comments. I think it's room for us to learn and grow the barber culture together, but it's about being transparent. It's about respecting the age gaps and not being threatened by growth. I mean, that's just a few. But
Right.
I,
What do you think?
I think,
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's 50-50.
You think it's 50-50?
I do. I think it's 50-50. Me, let me speak for myself.
Okay.
I am comfortable in my own skin,
Okay.
right? No young barber coming fresh out of barber college charging a gazillion dollars for a haircut because he had a shot to cut a celebrity, or he had a shot to cut somebody with a lot of followers, that whole thing. I'm not threatened by that,
Right.
because I have a gift, and my gift is not necessarily cutting hair. My gift is being creative,
Okay.
solving a problem. That's, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to.
Okay.
If you can solve a problem,
No.
whether
for
you're
real.
30, 15, 55, if you can solve a problem as a barber, as an entrepreneur, you are the true GOAT.
No, for real.
That's the real game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not intimidated by these young guys.
Right.
Because if you have put in the work,
Mm-hmm.
if you are outworking your counterpart, you already have a leg up.
Okay.
And now let me take it a even step further. You can put in a lot of hours just to say, oh man, I cut 25 heads today. That's cool to make 2,000, however much.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to put in the hours the right way.
And what's the right way?
The right way is essentially investing in you.
Oh.
Invest in those hours in you.
Okay.
Do what others aren't willing to do, and you'll always stand out.
Okay.
100%. So, are there some younger barbers hating on older barbers? Yes. The other way around? Yes. But at the end of the day, are you, as an OG barber, comfortable in your own skin, and vice versa? That's my thoughts.
Okay. Because I don't see what how an OG barber could be intimidated by a young barber just coming in, because you have the skill and the knowledge. I don't see why they could be intimidated. So I don't even understand why they would even waste their time hating on a younger barber.
Some OG barbers, Mo, they're not savvy with social media. I heard somebody say this the other day. He said, we got a lot of great haircutters.
Ooh.
A lot of great haircutters, but not a lot of great marketers.
And this is where the two can come in. So here's where I don't agree with sometimes people having their own suite, because it takes away the community that you have in a barbershop. So what would be wrong with, because you have the different age gaps, you say, hey, on this day, every Monday or once a month, we do training. For the OG barbers who aren't good with social media, one of our younger barbers are going to teach y'all social media, give you a social media class. It costs you nothing because you're in the same shop. And for the younger barber who still needs mentorship and you're fresh out of school, we're going to teach you some techniques that we've been successful with. And so it's a team effort where you're learning social media and you're learning marketing from your younger counterparts.
Right.
And then you're learning things that's been helpful for that OG barber.
In a perfect world, that will work. But you're talking ego, you're talking pride, right? And in some defense, there are some shops that are doing that. So I don't want someone to say, oh man, we doing that.
Yeah.
Shout out to those that are actually doing that, but very few. Do you know the pride is through the roof? It's through the roof, I promise.
I would rather walk into a shop and every barber is a 10 versus everybody waiting on this one barber and everybody else is trash. Because what does that say about your shop? What does that say about the owner of that shop? You're not mentoring your guys to make them better.
Right.
You only have one guy in the shop that can cut hair.
If you as an owner are the coldest barber in that shop, I challenge your leadership.
It's leadership.
I challenge your leadership. Here's what I did at AP's in another city. I would purposely hire barbers who were not the best, but I studied their work ethic and their heart for the industry.
Okay.
Those were the guys that I wanted. Then on Sundays, we were closed. I would order food. I would have a DJ. Here's some free game. I would have a DJ and I would have a cutting class. Give them techniques. I would do that. And if you ask anybody, all of the barbers in that shop could cut. Every last one of them.
That's my point.
Regardless of their age or their ethnicity.
I would want to say that you can sit in any chair in my shop and you're going to be satisfied. I would rather say that about my shop than to say it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
I can't do hit or miss.
I can't do hit or miss. And you have that. You have that.
Yeah.
You have that.
And that's what we talked about, hit or miss. Because hit or miss is when you done sprayed me before I saw my hair and my line is doing this right here. And I got home and I washed my hair and all that spray come out and I'm trying to figure out what you did.
And they charge you $100.
You better run me my money. I think before barbers, here's a free game.
Right.
Before you start spraying that spray, get them that mirror first. Then you do your enhancements, because there's nothing worse than going home and you wash your hair, because a lot of people, they don't get their hair washed at the shop. So when you go home, like for me, when I leave, I wash my hair. You know what I'm saying? You
have to.
I just wash my hair cut out if you don't know how to cut, because you put all that stuff in my, what did you call it?
Enhancement.
Fiber.
Enhancement.
Yeah, because you put that in my head. Now I don't wash my whole hair cut out. Now I was going to go out, but I can't because my haircut gone.
You looking in the sink. Give me my haircut back.
Give it.
Hey, give me my haircut back. It is so funny because it's true. It's so true. One of the techniques I use is that I turn my client in the mirror, especially my first time clients. This is a hack. I turn all of my first time clients in the mirror and I ask them, hey, my man, do you mind if I do enhancements, or do you take enhancements? Most of them be like, man, I'm a natural guy. I don't want all that.
Right.
I had a bad experience.
Man, but your clientele is a 10 out of 10, ladies. Do you?
Mo crazy. She's at a 10 out of 10. Mo be in here kicking it too sometimes. The conversation be crazy.
The conversation be off the chain.
It'd be crazy.
I could come up here and just hang out.
Mo's
and
a homie.
Listen, the conversation just jumped from topic to topic.
100%.
No, for real.
All of my friends know who Mo is. And they know. We start clapping when Mo come in the shop because she a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Just start clapping.
No, when I walked in here yesterday, the clientele that you had in here yesterday, I clapped when everybody walked in here. Everybody that walked in here, I was giving them a standing ovation. Hey!
I hear that.
They know who they were. I was giving them a standing ovation. They were just blushing.
Boy, that's funny. That is funny. Bo, you funny. So look, real quick, I want to read this comment. Bo, you funny. Standing ovation.
I was.
So look, I like this real quick in all seriousness. He said, you can never get to the top hating. Each one teach one. I do like that.
Seriously.
Right. No. I do like that. I've never been a hater. I've never been envious or jealous of anyone. I've always been like, how did they do that?
Ask questions.
Right? How did they get to that level? How did they get to? Because at the end of the day, you're going to always have somebody hating. You will. That's just in any industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that. I know that. We've talked offline.
Yeah.
You're going to always have. But when it comes down to you rising, you matriculating to the top, you almost you have to remain a student.
You have to remain a student, and you have to be able to bring people along with you. Anytime that I've done something, even when I was in the military, I would bring my soldiers to meetings with me, and people would ask me why I would do that, because I'm mentoring future leaders. I need them to see when we're in the meeting, we're not just in here flapping our gums. We're really in here talking about things. So when y'all are sitting in the office waiting on us to come back to give you the notes that we just took, I need you to understand why. So I would take that little private or that little specialist who's trying to be a sergeant and, hey, let's go to the meeting. And you're going to take notes. And then when you come back, you're going to brief these people.
I love that. You wasn't intimidated.
I'm not.
You weren't intimidated.
I'm not intimidated. And if you pass me, great. That means then you can talk. Then you can speak to my leadership.
100%.
Without me, you couldn't have done that.
But what about the individual, the barber, who's afraid if I show you what I know, you're going to take my place. Because that's a lot of that too.
Take your place where it's only one of you. It's only one Mo.
Yeah.
It's only one AP.
Yeah.
Who gonna take me?
But some people think that way.
That is crazy. Then you're giving somebody too much power over you. Nobody can take my spot. I am who I am. Y'all better stand on business. Who are you?
But I'm telling you, some people don't think that way. It's like this.
Then they need to go to counseling.
That's a good point. But you got brand deals. You got all types of sponsorship. You have that. And that's what a lot of barbers are chasing. Just to say that.
You are the content, though.
That's right.
You and I can literally do the exact same thing, but people buy into other people. Right? There's only one you. You're going to have an audience that likes AP, and then you're going to have people that can't stand you.
That's right. That's
and
right.
then they're going to gravitate to somebody else who's doing the exact same thing.
That's right.
There's only one of you, and you're going to get the audience that loves AP. And everybody else is going to go to that other person, and that's fine.
That's a fact.
8 billion people on this earth.
8 billion with a B.
I wish somebody would say they can take my spot.
But there are people out there, I'm telling you, there are people out there, Mo, that feels like if I give you the game, if I share what I know that's gotten me to this point,
right?
You know, I could potentially be replaced, whether it's social media, whether it's the industry.
Right.
That's how they feel.
And that's crazy. So this is what I've noticed in social media. Once they've gotten to the peak of their career, that's what they start doing. They start
giving
teaching.
The game back.
They start giving the game back. You got to pay for it, but they start giving because they've reached the peak. Now let me give you the game. If you want it, I'm going to give it to you. This is how I've got my following. This is how I've got my clients. This is how I made, 6 figures or 7 figures. This is how I've been able to expand my brand.
I like that. But what I don't like is the individuals that been in the game maybe 2 years. Selling courses, selling digital products. And it's almost like they're talking like they've been in the game a very long time.
Yeah.
And personally, being in the industry for 15 plus years, I have an issue with that.
As you should.
Yeah, I have an issue with that.
Yeah, as you should. But it's social media. You know what I'm saying? Social
media is making people overnight success. You ain't put in the work.
At some point, you're going to have to walk it. At some point, you're going to have to show.
Because you're going to get exposed.
You're going to get exposed. And you're going to be Milli Vanilli around here. Hey, at some point, baby, you're going to get exposed. Now, that's an OG, because I know some of y'all don't know who that dang
like,
on.
What'd she just say?
Look at blame it on the... Auntie Mo.
I promise you, because for me, I have no problem with you getting to your bag, do your thing, but you gotta have some skin in the game.
You do. Yeah, but that's a part of the social media. Believe half of what you see.
I like it.
You have to go into there saying,
I like it.
Some of this is true. I always say maybe 30% of what I see on social media is true. The other 70% is questionable.
You gonna give it 30%?
I'm only gonna give it 30%.
Really?
Is true.
Wow.
30%.
But you got receipts. So I get why you think that way. You got receipts.
Man, you know how many people done got me for some money and couldn't. I want to fight some people.
I got you. That's why I feel like a lot of people are going to get exposed, especially the younger barbers coming out saying, yo, buy my course. You and another thing too, they go from barber school straight to a suite to say, I'm a shop owner. That's what they do. Yeah, I want my own shop, bro. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go straight into, the actual suite so I can have this clout. And for me, I would say you absolutely have to work under someone so you can have a blueprint. You may not use their blueprint, but you will have some type of point of reference.
Yeah.
And so I'm not in it for the clout or just say, yo, I'm gonna come straight from this so I can say I'm a shop owner. But I will say for all those young guys that just want to be a shop owner, it's not all cracked up to be what you think.
Yeah, and give yourself a year. Give yourself a year to work in the shop, to see what it is like to work amongst your peers.
I agree.
To see how they communicate, to how they interact with their clients. You're going to see all kind of people walk in a shop.
All type of people, all walks of life.
You're going to learn so much being in the shop and seeing different people with different personalities, different backgrounds. You're going to have to learn how to deal with those people. When you're young and then you go straight to a shop, you don't know how to deal with that the first time a customer walk in and don't pay.
Man, I had that. I didn't know whether to fight, run after him.
Right.
I didn't know what to do. I'll never forget that. This is the first time coming out of barber college, but I was working at a shop. Mm-hmm. I knew old boy. We went to high school together.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, do I chase after him and fight him?
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I'm not even paying you, AP. I'm not paying you. He didn't have the money. And you're going to encounter that. You're going to encounter that. He literally walked out.
You're going to get got. Especially now when people don't carry cash, and then it's like, hey, all right, bro, you know, yep. I got my cash. Listen, me and AP cool.
Yeah.
How many times?
Few times.
AP.
No, what's up, man? Nah, I'm just playing.
No, I done walked out here.
Yeah,
after I finished my haircut, I walked out. We've talked.
But it's be the conversation.
And then I walk out and I'm like, dang, I ain't pay. It's 2 days later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, AP, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
You good,
but you know my money. But for that person who walks out, I'm like, hey, I got you. Mm-hmm. They walk out and you never get your money. What do you do?
What do you do? And I'm working on something right now. I was actually working on it today. That you have to, you gotta be exposed. You gotta have that exposure when it comes down to, even if you're not a barber, if you are an entrepreneur trying to build something, at the end of the day, entrepreneurship is basically learning how to deal with people. So you're going to deal with people irregardless of your niche. Mastering how to build and how to have that customer service, how to have that ambiance where even if they do walk out, if you don't have the right leadership, the right mentorship, you saying you got a shop, that don't mean nothing.
It means
get some skin
nothing.
In the game, my guy.
Exactly.
Even for the female barbers as well. It's not just for the male barbers. Get some skin in the game. It ain't about clout, but it's about longevity. How long can you sustain in this business without being a one-hit wonder?
Yeah. And I think when you're getting into something new, you're giving away information. For me, even with inventions, I give away more information than what I'm trying to sell. I know how to go from a thought to a product and through manufacturing. I'm not trying to sell that right now. I'm teaching people how to do it, but I'm not trying to sell it because although I'm new to it, I know how to do it. I just want to walk because I need receipts. I'm trying to get receipts without charging you. So when I put that price tag on there, I got all these people say, "No, she gave me the game for free, and I've been able to do X, Y, and Z." It's the same thing with being a barber.
Same thing with being a barber, and that remind me of Dave. What's his name? Not Dave Chappelle, but what's your man's? Top of the year, he was on Shannon Sharp show. The podcast.
Cat Williams?
Cat Williams. Cat Williams helped so many people without saying anything, without broadcasting. That's the real play. When you do things without saying you did this and you did that, you have so many up and coming comedians saying, man, Cat gave me 2 bands. Cat helped me when I got out of jail. Like that whole thing.
Exactly.
So it's always about who can you help on your way to the top. That's your real receipts.
Man. And that's it. And then when people start dogging you, those people that you helped that you never spoke about, they're going to come out. Be like, nah, this. And they were like, I never knew.
Never knew.
Like Tyler Perry never said that he housed Megan in the Prince.
Man, what?
Ooh. He ain't said, but when people start dogging Tyler Perry, this man housed us. When we didn't have anywhere to go, this man put us up in his house.
That's a whole nother episode. Not to try to get clout for who you helping, who you putting on, if that's even the thing for real. But I'm telling you, move in silence. That right there. You gotta move in silence.
Yeah, baby.
You gotta move in silence. Don't tell everybody your next move, what you about to do, the play you about to make. Just show up. Don't make it like what they say. Keep it private until it's permanent. That's one of the main statements on social. But yeah, that's really it. And if you feel like OG barbers are hating on younger barbers, we want to know what you think in the chat. Just, just tell us know what you think, because this is a real conversation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think, I'm sorry, and I
Nah,
think
you
you guys are, it sounds cliche, but you guys are stronger together than you are separate. There's so many things that you can learn from each other that's going to help both your businesses grow. You know what I'm saying?
I'm all about collaboration.
Collaboration over competition.
That collaboration over competition, if you can understand and develop that mindset, young barber, OG barber, whatever, I promise you that's going to be your saving grace in the barber industry. Yo, it's been another episode of More to the Barber. I can't wait to talk at you soon. Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, yo, check this out. If you like this episode, do me a favor. Make sure you subscribe down below. We got amazing content coming your way. Stay tuned for more. Let's go.